The term AI is one of these things that it's a marketer's dream, and it's a recruiter's nightmare because of several things. But when it first started out, and this goes back several decades, it was heavily algorithmic. So there was a specific input and a specific output. And then as systems started collecting more data, and the math behind the algorithms was evolving, and the algorithms were evolving, the results were substantially more accurate, but they still were only to the level of, at best, an average recruiter. Having seen hireEZ evolve from HireTool to hireEZ over the last 10 years or so, I've seen the platform evolve into one that gives me a substantial amount of confidence, because I can do all this stuff organically. But the time I save, being able to, in real time, look at things like total addressable market within a specific area, and then tune the search down to what I need, that is a substantial improvement over how things have been over the last 5 to 10 years. But this platform, from an agentic point of view, being able to take the workflow experience of a very, very senior, experienced, battle-tested recruiter and put it into the hands of someone who has yet to develop these skills, that's going to be great for our profession. It's not a question of replacing recruiters. It is a question of giving them the skills, the knowledge, the experiences to be substantially better at what they do, so they can learn along the way and then evolve into that, what we call the talent advisor position. So I think this is a great step towards moving from just a deliverer of resources to somebody who can actually make the company better by using their brain, combining it with technology and magic. Recruiting has always been relationship driven, not knowing how to engage people. It is a conundrum that we see that I tend to make fun of substantially, as I hope this email finds you well problem. The greatest recruiters, the best recruiters on the planet, the ones who create the most engagement, are the ones who live and breathe personalization. Your needs are different than his needs, different than her needs, different than his needs. And to be able to look at a person's profile, potentially in the future pull in critical personal information that may or may not be germane to the position you're trying to fill, but having that in your back pocket. And from a agentic point of view, I'll anthropomorphize for moments, thinking like the human does. Okay, person likes horses, person is an accountant, the person went to this school. How can I weave all those three elements together into a message that gets them to actually engage with it and not just toss it off like thousands of other things in their inbox? So this is the agentic piece will allow the recruiters, will allow companies to actually create that sense of experience that I hope this email finds you well can never do. The aspect of hireEZ that I wish other companies in the TA Tech ecosystem would adopt is for recruiters by recruiters. When you have recruiters, people with knowledge, people who've made the mistakes that newer recruiters, early career recruiters, even mid experience level recruiters make, having that knowledge being built into a platform, that's the relationship. Be able to take all that stuff and weave it into relationships, and weave it into relationships not just with the people we covet, but the hiring managers, the community, things of that nature. For recruiters by recruiters means that this is not someone who has never sent out an email, never sent a text message, never searched online, never had a conversation with a hiring manager telling you that this is the solution that you need. The beauty of what we have here at hireEZ is that the community really helped build this product. I mean, that's the essence of what's different. There's a real community around the platform here. And no one here, no one who has been involved, no one who has led TA, no one who has led sourcing, no one who has led branding, is afraid to offer their opinions, their experience, their insight to make this platform better. So that's the beauty of this. This is a community generated platform. That's very different than what we see out there today. Where does a TA team start with Agentic AI? The first thing you need to do is actually re-engineer them for simplicity. Take all the fluff out of it, the stuff that is non-results driven, non-performance driven, and create just processes that are as lean as can be, but get you to where you want to be. And then little by little, take elements of that and let's say writing outreach messages. Play with the generative AI platform. It doesn't matter what the LLM you use, but just play with it and try to, considering your targets, help generate messages that you may find, or the person who you covet may find intriguing, and then share it with them and see would they respond to it. And little by little, then once you get that stuff down, once you expand your thinking, then you can get to the next phase with the generative phase, which is moving towards real decision making. And you're going to have to give up a certain amount of we've always done it this way type of thing. Because the beauty of agentic AI, it's going to open you to pathways, to opportunities, to insights that you never truly considered. So much in the same way of any learning experience, you have to have an open mind and try stuff. And you're going to fail. You're going to fall flat. You may send messages out. You may have a search take a little bit longer than it needs to be. But then always do the debrief and learn from your mistakes and say, where can we do it better? So we go from simplicity, you're creating a foundation of just what you absolutely need to get the job done, to finding ways to save time through generative AI. And then from the standpoint of agentic AI, get to the point where you are generating results in a shorter period of time. So you can, for example, when you have 1,000 applicants, you don't have to just arbitrarily send negative dispositions to them. You can individually, using agentic AI, inform them of why they're not matches. Agentic gets you towards human, where other aspects haven't.